Angry, 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 angry Aussie. 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 Angry, 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 angry Aussie. 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 Angry, 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 angry.
Okay, I was not expecting a thing to be called. No one's here yet. All right, I've got to clean up. Baby, I got to wipe out some sticky stuff. That's what she said. Oh, hey, Miguel H. All right, I just realized just after I went live, I hadn't wiped down here after last night, and it was a bit messy. Why am I so flared out? Let me play with these controls. I think we want less brightness, maybe less contrast. Okay, now that looks weird. Now that looks straight up weird. What do we... Oh. Honestly, don't think I'm in any state to judge this. Oh. A little bit more. There we go. Oh, or not. It's a whole thing. Put it back. It is very strange behavior. What is it? Defaults. These are defaults. Oh wow. That's weird. White balance is out. No auto what? Redonkulous. It is a redonkulous. Yes, Justin. God, the fucking revisionism with COVID that's going on, not just from the far right, is disturbing the fuck out of me right now. Lockdowns weren't worth it. Masks don't work. It is absolute horseshit, and it seems to be gaining traction. Very disturbing. Not happy, Jen, but the Liberals cop another pasting, which I believe leaves Tasmania as the only Liberal state government, well, the only Liberal government in Australia. Labor everywhere else. Good time in the wilderness in New South Wales, though. See, I missed some email. That's pretty much spam. Oh, yes. Oh, they were trying to get me to do an app, which I missed. The Whiskey Show, that is how I was. Let me see. I can't even freaking remember the name of the one that I liked the most because it wasn't for sale. Welcome to Morris Barrel House. 5% off whiskey and free shipping. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Goodness me. All right. Like, I am seriously going to be off. You don't have to apologize, Dr. Abigail. Sorry, see, I'm not going to be on my game today. Justin, it probably wouldn't have been safe for me to argue with someone like that. And Dr. Abigail, all the whiskey was good. I had a nana nap afterwards. I did not taste anything I didn't like, and I tasted at least. I'm pretty sure I tasted at least one thing from every distributor. Which was a lot. I actually didn't count how many samples it was. It was probably in the realm of 40 little sips of whiskies. I mean, my favorites was the liqueurs, actually. I bought 2 bottles. I meant to get another one, and I'd forgot. And Mrs. Angry didn't mention it till we got home. But I got a cream liqueur from Tasmania and a honey whiskey liqueur from where? I actually have some of it. Lime burners, Western Australia. And I was thinking of getting a smoked whiskey as like peated whiskey, but instead of the grain being roasted by burning peat, the grain was roasted by burning sheep poo. And they actually called this whiskey Holy Shit, which was WHOLLY, holy as in completely shit, which is funny. Spoiler alert, it did not smell or taste like shit. It smelled and tasted like a peated whiskey. It was quite nice. And I just loved the story of holy shit. It was just funny. So we probably tasted like 5 liqueurs, and they were our favorite thing across the board. But yeah, my favorite was, and it like fucking razor thin margins, what was my favorite whiskey, because I didn't dislike anything. But this is a new startup one right on the coast of Tassie, this little tourist spot. And they have not yet released the product commercially, so I couldn't buy it. I had to make a note of it. I don't know. Yes, nice, Dr. Abigail. Shitty marketing strategy. Brain is still not. Belgrove. That's the name of the distillery that made holy shit. I've had a distilled apple cider they make called Apple Hatchet, which is quite nice. You got rye whiskey, oat whiskey batch, peated rye whiskey, Pinot Noir, black rye, Apple Hatchet. Here we go. Holy shit rye whiskey, smoked with burnt sheep dung. $130 for 500 mils. It's not cheap. But I think they were offering a little bit of a discount if I'd got it there, but I just forgot. I forgot. Oh, yeah, parrot head's out, which is nice. I sound nasally. Okay, that's probably tiredness. Ooh, a 9.2% swing against parrot head. Nice. Take that. Oof. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm having a Pepsi to try and kick it up a notch, and I have no idea how effective that is going to be. So when did I go to sleep? About 1 a.m.? 1:30? What time was it? Something like that. And then I got up in the morning. I also did not have a hangover. Then I went out drinking again. Yeah, you did pretty good. You had your 9 a.m. alarm, and you're absolutely fine waking up. Yeah, I mean, that was a very fun night with lots of fun conversations and discussing. You like the pigeon picture? Yeah, that was Mrs. Angry's lad. I was basically, we got like an L-shaped lounge and he was in the middle of it, and I just got on the long bit and was like lying down on the lounge when we got home going, and the pigeon who was next to him decided to check me out and go, "What are you doing?" And yeah, I thought it was a funny photo. The pigeon sitting on me, standing on me, walking on me. So yes, this honey whiskey liqueur, 30% ABV from Lime Burners in Western Australia. Carry honey whiskey liqueur. Rich, smooth blend of our award-winning single malt whiskey, enriched with Kerry honey and exotic spices. This extremely rare honey is sourced from the giant karri forests in remote southwest corner of Western Australia. Growing over 60 meters tall, flowering only once every 10 years, the karri tree provides us with an exceptional honey to create this exclusive style of whiskey liqueur. There you go. Megaleech, I put it on Twitter and Facebook. I could put it on Discord as well. It's a funny old world. Oofed. Yeah, I just put it on Discord now. How old was I when Gough Whitlam was elected? I was a littly. What year was Gough Whitlam elected? 73? I was a littly. So I don't have conscious memories of Gough Whitlam's election. It's like not a thing that provoked much discussion in my house. I think it'd be one of my earliest memories of something to do with politics is when Gough Whitlam was in power, and it must have been a lead up to election or something. But there was a broadcast where Billy Snedden, leader of the Liberal Party, got to do a sort of right of reply on the TV, and it was on the TV, and I must have picked up them saying stuff about him on TV because I have quite a conscious memory of this getting a laugh from my family when he sort of, in a speech from Billy Snedden, the leader of the Liberal Party. I actually said I thought he was leader of the opposition because that's how they were always talking about him in the media, which is weird. I don't have conscious memories of media reports calling him the leader of the opposition. But I remember this incident when he was introduced to give a speech, and they called him leader of the Liberal Party. And I said, I thought he was leader of the opposition. And that got a laugh from my family. Probably because it got that reaction is why I remember it. Oh, nicely. Following Jake the Drake. Good work. Oh, goodness me. Oh, yeah, I think Nats are retaining Dubbo. Not a huge fucking surprise. Oh, gosh almighty. Yeah, I was stupid, baby. Babies are stupid. Why do we put up with them? Ooh, ooh, If I like really late, okay, there's an app because I gotta remember who the fuck it was that I liked. I don't know if Mrs. Angry took notes. I can normally rely on her to take notes. Wowzers, there's a whole bunch of things that want to update. I haven't been paying attention. Okay. What is happening? Okay, but I want to find the Whiskey Show. What comes up with the Whiskey Show? The Whiskey List. That would be them. Okay, they want me to log in. All right, I'm just going to do this. Hello. I had a nap because I was tired. As they say in the media, tired and emotional. I don't know if that's a uniquely Australian thing, but I remember that from way back. Drunk celebrities doing something embarrassing in public. The media would report them as being tired and emotional when they were like hammered somewhere in public. All the glasses dirty. It's okay. All right. some ice. I mean, I was tired. I was not particularly emotional, I have to admit. Yeah. I was tired. Ugh. Alrighty. They were calling the New South Wales election on the ABC, and they're not ones to rush. It's all happening. So, Abigail kept falling off a skateboard, getting a bloody nose. Oh, wowzers. Same crack in the payment. Yeah, see, babies are stupid. That's interesting. This won't register. Well, fuck it. I say fuck it. I will just update those apps and put the phone down. As I think what they're saying is the Lib LNP can't win government. I think there was a small possibility of Labor having a minority if they get support from independents, but I'm pretty sure I heard them on the ABC actually call that they're pretty sure Labor will win a majority. But of course, that sort of thing, if you call it too early, can end up being wrong. I didn't start the stream till 8 because I didn't think the election would be called that quickly. I'm a little bit surprised it was called as early as it was. So, that's funly. Liberals had an event where the sound got cut. Wonder what that was about. Looks a lordy. I probably should. Okay, I should open. I should open the ABC website for results for the New South Wales election. Labor will form ABC election analyst. ABC election analyst Anthony Green says Labor will form minority or majority government. There will be a change in government. We have Labor above 40. Coalition is struggling to get above 27. Anthony Green thinks it looks like they'll get the 47 they need to have an outright majority. But officially called is only 42. 16 to go. So Labor only need to get 5 out of 16, and the Liberal Party need to get 22 out of 16. You see their problem. You see their problem with those numbers. Okay, now it's saying it fucking did get me in the whiskey list. Try a rare whiskey sample pack. Whiskey lovers exclusive bottlings. Good damn it. I probably should have had the election page. Oh. Okay, so ALP haven't lost any of their seats. Okay, cool. Yeah, strictly Sega, the Liberals were in for a long time. So we are down to Tasmania being the only Liberal government state. Will be interesting to see What Labour do. I said the whiskey list. Log in. I think I am going to fucking delete this app. This fucking thing is timing out again. It's fucked. Something went wrong. This app is fucked. Yep. Yep, okay, that app is fucked. I just want to remember the name of the place that I liked the most. I didn't write it. I am on their mailing list, though. So they will email me when they get in. Also, because, like, Mrs. Angry and I are cocktail drinkers than straight whiskey drinkers. Mrs. Angry's idea, I made up a little batch of instant old-fashioned, basically sugar syrup and bitters, and just had it in a little squeezy bottle. And so when I got a whiskey sample, and sort of have a smell and a teeny sip of it straight, and then just squeeze a few drops of the old-fashioned mix in and swirl it around. Instant old-fashioned. And we both agreed all the whiskeys were improved when they turned into an old-fashioned. What's it? Oh, God. I thought there was something in that pocket. It's my mask. So, all in all, a fun day. They give you a little show bag with... They're looking after you. You could water. It was so easy to get water. They gave you a little show bag with some snacks, which is like peanuts and chips and a chocolate bar and a bottle of water, which is nice and responsible of them. Did drink quite a bit of water there. Some of it's just in little amounts, just swirling out my glass with water, and instead of tipping that out, I'd always drink it. But yes, regularly having proper drinks of water to hydrate. So it's a whole thing. So ALP, I want to say ones of changing hands. ALP retain, ALP retain, ALP retain. These are all just retains. Did any change hands? Still haven't found one that changed hands. They're all retains. There's no... Oh, there we go. Oh, Monaro. That the bellwether seat that whoever... And this is not universally true, but it's like whoever wins that seat wins the election. That's an ALP gain. That's the first one I've seen as a gain. Greens gained Newtown. Go Greens. Western Sydney comes back. Parramatta and Penrith. ALP gains. Ryde. ALP gain. South Coast. ALP gain. These are all retains. Wagga Wagga stays independent. Independent has one. Wakehurst? I don't even know where that is. There you go. Well, that was a little fun bit of trivia. Yeah, why did it do that? What are you doing to me? Website, what you doing? Still only 27% of the count. Okay. Heine, Upper Hunter. Let's have a look. What was Upper Hunter? Nationals retain by a comfortable margin. Actually, a swing towards them in the Upper Hunter. There's going to be another one where the Nationals do way better than the Liberal Party, and the Nationals act all obnoxious to the Liberal Party. I mean, it's just fun. Hot damn, I should have a working class drink to celebrate. A martini. Oh, man, there's another big fucking drink festival on next weekend, which I don't think I'll go to. I can't go to things like this too often, quite honestly. Yeah, I'm going to get lightly hair of the dogged. Main got. It's incredibly unusual for me. Like 3 separate drinking sessions in 24 hours. Last night, today, and tonight. Oh, hot damn. Be a hot time in the old town tonight. Do-do-do-do. It would be extremely unlikely for Labour to not win a majority. It is still possible. It's just unlikely. I wonder if Friendly Geordies is going to claim credit for this. Strictly Sega, I would go out on a limb and say at this stage, the pandemic had almost no effect on people's votes. I'm basing that on nothing but gut feel, but I just don't think the pandemic drives anyone's votes at the moment. Because, I mean, for fuck's sake, here in Victoria, the media and the right wingers were pushing the narrative really hard that our rather tough lockdowns were going to hurt Labor, and they didn't. And that was longer ago and closer to very tough lockdowns. So I think Friendly Geordies had no impact because he went really hard at the last election. Labor. And I think the LNP improved their results in the last election. How Tim Smith was I? I was absolutely fully Tim Smithed. No question about it. But I got home. Heard from friends, housing crisis and corruption. Well, for fuck's sake, yeah, how the LNP aren't in fucking prison for their corruption is amazing. No, see, I did not pay an enormous amount of attention, but we're saying clean campaign argued on the issues. Yeah, I don't remember any real smear stuff in the media. Like I said, was not paying a lot of attention. But that is kind of the impression I got. But yeah, it's like now I swear to God, the fucking Nationals in particular, but the Liberal Party as well, must be really paranoid about criminal investigation because they're fucking criminals. So we'll see what comes out of that. Ah, da, da, da. I am not a high energy boy tonight because I got really drunk. No, 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 no. Okay. Torn. I'm gonna. Oh, I'm gonna have a martini because I made up a new martini last night and I don't yet know what it tastes like. Oh, okay, this out of the way. My instant old-fashioned mix. I just have instant old-fashions there. Oh man, did they not eat the pizza? How much pizza is left? I have pizza for breakfast. Alright, that's why I was standing up, to get my martini. Freezer martini. Shake it up. Freezer martini. I'm gonna have a freezer martini. And I'm gonna put a twist of lemon in it. Are you sucking on a lemon? Are you sucking on a lemon? Where's my peeler? I can't find it this time. Could it be? Oh yes, we need more sword guy songs. Oh. Sword guy, he's the guy with the sword. Jackie Sager's having a coffee. I didn't have any dinner supper. I ate some chips. That could also be part of my energy problem. Not having... I had pizza for breakfast. That was the last real food I ate. If we can call pizza for breakfast real food. Cheers, y'all. Yeah, that's strong. I think I'm going to add some water. Not necessarily to this, but to the freezer. It was really citrusy. That is so fucking yummy. I will add some water to my freezer martini. Got decent amount of orange oil from that spritz. Like a little oil slick floating on my martini. Sword guy, the hero that we need. Or was he a villain? Was Sword Guy a hero or a villain? Oh, the ABC site just refreshed to 46 to Labor with 12 in doubt. The idea that Labor won't get at least one of the 12 in doubt is pretty wild. Major swing in Berejiklian's former seat. 18% swing to an independent in Willoughby. Okay. Liberal Party has held Willoughby every election since 1950 bar one in 1978. Before it swung back to Liberal Party in 1981. Tim James, who was not Ms. Berejiklian's preferred successor as candidate, won the February 22 by-election against Ms. Penn with a reduced majority. God, so that's the second time them going to head-to-head. And he won once, but is looking in trouble. He's in trouble. There you go. Do. Oh, okay. Oh, Shannon wants to celebrate. Oh, why not? Yeah, okay. So we'll do Angry Bunch. Who wants to do the Angry Bunch? I am mommy. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Hello, hello, Kirsten. Okay, this is acting weird. I'm trying to do this. I am going to put the link on Discord because I don't know what the fuck is happening here. That's right. Megalich has written a very long sword guy song, which I love. Okay, it's in the general channel on Discord because it's being weird to me. Kirsten, Whiskey Show was good. Oh, okay. So Megalich, you've done two. I didn't look at it closely. The heroic version and the pathetic version of the Sword Guy song. Oh, is this another chat GPT thingy? He's the sword guy, he lives by the blade. He's a sword guy, he's not afraid to face any challenge, to fight any foe. He's a sword guy, he's always on the go. He's a sword guy, travels the land. Sword guy, he lends a hand to those in need, to those who seek. He's a sword guy, he's strong and sleek. He's a sword guy, he has a curse. He has a sword guy, it could be worse. His arm is a sword, his arm is a sword. It's a mind of its own. He's a sword guy, but he's not alone. He's a sword guy, he has a goal. Sword guy, he has a soul. Wants to master his blade, wants to find peace. He's a sword guy, he won't cease. He's a sword guy, he's the best. Sword guy, he passes test. Courage and skill, honor and grace. He's a sword guy, he wins the race. He's a sword guy. I'm really getting into sword guy now. Grasshopper.
G'day. How's it going?
Good. How are you going with the election result? Hey, Batty.
Mate, I couldn't be fucking better. I
Mm.
could not be any fucking better at all.
Nice.
Say hello, everybody, to Chris behind me, who's not paying any attention.
Oh, right. There you go. Yeah.
The ALP are not just winning, they are fucking decimating.
Yeah, the Libs are not looking like they're going to have a lot of seats in the parliament.
Oh, we're fucking flogging them. Yeah. Yes! Yeah, no, ALP are up at 42 to LNP's 24, and 9 seats are going to others with 18 seats still to call. So even if they win all 18 seats, that'd only take them up to the same, that'd take them up to 42, same as ALP. So ALP have definitely got this in the bag.
Yeah, the ABC is saying, oh, no, it's gone back to 45. They were saying 46, and now they're saying they're calling 45 for Labor with 13 in doubt. I mean, the idea that Labor won't get at least 2 out of 13 seats in doubt is...
Yeah, no, I'll be curious to see the swing seats that they were aiming for yesterday and today. Penrith, Cogra, and another area that I can't remember the name of, but they were a couple of the more important seats for them. So yeah, no, either way, fucking good on New South Wales. Oh, fucking A.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm just dirtying up my martini.
No, the state libs here were trying to run a campaign of, oh, we're going to make it easier for families. We're going to, do what we can to drop electricity bills or help out with electricity bills or,
Yeah.
other such bullshit. But also said that they weren't going to try and sell off any more of New South Wales infrastructure. And yet leaks got shown where in their own fucking policy paperwork is the full plan, detailed plan of how to sell off Sydney Water.
Yep. Yeah. It's just weird the things they absolutely cannot be trusted on, and they go, "We haven't announced that as a policy." And you go, "Yeah, but we know you're going to do it." It's like federal Liberal with their just horrific industrial relations plans, and they're like, "No, we're not doing that." Go, you will. Given half a chance, you will.
Safa, in regards to Tasmania, the Liberal candidate down in Tasmania, they're not like as bad as some Liberal candidates can be. Theirs isn't like as bad. I mean, he's still not good in my opinion, but he's not as bad as say we had with Dominic Perrottet and fucking like Queensland did with Joe Bjelke-Petersen and fuckwits like that on the right.
Joe
They managed
Bjelke-Petersen,
to
that's a low point.
control
That guy was a friggin' dictator.
Oh yeah, yeah. So no, I don't think that Tasmania will switch at the next election. I would love to see it happen personally, but I don't think that that'll be the case. Justin Underwood is saying that Friendly Geordies will be happy. He will be. Koala should be happy.
There should be a bit of a bright spot point, hopefully for koalas. Yeah,
Yep, just a bit. Um, Justin saying that he's celebrating with a few Hawkeyes. I could definitely appreciate that.
yeah. I think the news.com.au published a piece. Labor wins in landslide.
Didn't he get rid of the Queensland Senate? The Queensland Senate, I don't know too much about the history where that's concerned, but from my understanding, it's actually been a good thing for the most part that Queensland doesn't have one.
Yeah,
So if Bjelke-Petersen got rid of them, like as much as I wouldn't like to give that piece of shit any kind of fucking kudos, it's actually been beneficial for Queensland to not have them. So
I might look that up actually. What was the circus? Because I get him up. What was the history of that? Looking for things. It's Johannes Bjelke-Petersen. Jesus. Oh, and Flo didn't die till 2017. God, that's relatively recent. God, she almost lived to 100. My God. That's what happens. That's what happens when you eat babies.
the APC projects that the Labor Party will form government in New South Wales. Chris Minns will be the 47th Premier for the state after leading his party to an election win after 12 years in opposition. Follow our live blog for latest blah, blah, blah. LNP at 26, ALP at 45. Greens have got 2, others at 8. It is 47 to win. There is no way the ALP don't have this.
Yeah, it is basically not possible.
All right, let's just hope that he keeps true to one of the things that he talked about, which was buying back the fucking power grid for New South Wales, much like Dan Andrews is doing for you guys down there in Victoria.
Yeah.
And apparently Anastasia Palaszczuk is doing the same for Queensland.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, having a state-based power authority, this thing like, I mean, it's unarguable that privatization of utilities has been a fucking scam, and
Oh, and how? Fucking amen. Yeah, like anybody, you'd think that privatizing everything was a bad idea. The way that you're talking, they're angry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was working for one of the power companies, and the federal Liberal Party introduced yet another great piece of competition, because competition always drives prices down. But it was a major change to the infrastructure of every electricity reseller, and they were spending literally tens of millions of dollars to make the changes to meet this new wonderful bit of competition. And of course, what did they do as a result of having to spend tens of millions of dollars? Pass that on directly to customers.
Yep, yep.
It's a
No,
fucking farce.
it was like Telstra. When Telstra were like, "Oh, we're going to try and drive down prices," before Optus came into the mix. In order to try and drive down their prices, they basically fired everybody that was full-time Telstra that worked out on the fields and rehired them all as subcontractors as opposed to full-time employees.
Yeah,
And basically fucked them 7 ways from Sunday.
yeah,
In terms of their pay packets and healthcare benefits and all of those sorts of different things. And slowly and steadily but surely been stripping away more of their pay, more of their paybacks and all of those sorts of different things. They've got like a handful of fucking full-time employees that are out on the field now.
yeah,
Everybody else is a subcontractor or they work for another company.
yeah.
And it did nothing to bring down the fucking prices. Absolutely
Mm.
nothing. It's one of those things that I really hate having to say, but you have to pay a lot for Telstra, but you do get better coverage with
Yeah,
Telstra than what you do with the other telcos.
yeah,
That
yeah. And I mean,
unfortunately there is no getting past that.
Telstra or olden days telecom are are a good example of an overlarge government monopoly. Actually, and this is like, oh look, I'm being a mad capitalist. Literally stifling competition for a very long time. Telstra slash telecom were actively stifling any competition and they were lying. I still remember when faxes became a thing, and Telstra was saying you had to pay to get a new phone line into an office to use a fax because they were different to phones and they needed a special connection, which is a complete fucking lie.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
and there were a few things that. Sorry, I also just missed Lemonheads in the chat. I have seen those things, hockey players in the US refusing to wear pride uniforms. We have similar things with sports ballers in Australia, actually. It goes on
Yeah.
everywhere.
No, it seems to be more prevalent in the larger clubs
Mm,
when it comes to this sort of homophobic rhetoric.
yeah,
Um, like your smaller leagues. Now, to be clear, I am not a fucking sports ball person at all. To be
yeah,
clear, but like quite a few of my friends have got kids that are in kids leagues and all of that sort of stuff. And
yeah,
you go out to their games, as a show of support, and there's pride flags and stalls with information about LGBTQ youth and all of
yeah,
these sorts of different things, and trying to be inclusive and educational and all of that sort of stuff. And it's nice and it's all there. And then you go up to the larger fucking things, and you get like that religious moron a few years ago that said something or other about killing all homosexuals or whatever, and the club kicked him out, and everybody was like, "Oh, we don't think that the club did the right thing." It's like, no, they absolutely did the right fucking thing.
Oh yeah, he was that. What was his name? He was from a really lunatic um, wingnut culty church. Yes, actually, Dr. Abigail. If you want to know, is it true that people who play the wizard game are directly sporting a turf? Ask the turf. She has explicitly stated people playing the game if not directly supporting her, they're saying it's no big deal. And thanks, Safra. It was Israel Folau. Yeah,
Yes, yes. I was just about to say that Israel Folau, that dickhead.
yeah,
Um, Yeah, but no, I remember. Actually, this is quite funny. A friend of mine's dad, back when the same-sex marriage plebiscite was going on,
Yeah,
he's a big-time sports mall fan,
yeah,
and the rugby team that he follows is the Dragons. And he made a post, or sorry, my friend made a post in support of same-sex marriage, and he responded with homosexuality is a choice and it's the wrong choice. So
right,
I responded to him and I explained what a choice was. I said, if you wake up in the morning and you decide to have a cup of coffee and a slice of toast as opposed to a bowl of cereal and a glass of OJ, that's a choice. If you decide to have wear the blue shirt as opposed to the red shirt, that's a choice. If you decide to take this way or that way to work, that's a choice. If you wake up every day and you have to choose to be straight, then may I suggest that maybe, just maybe, you want to know what it's like to have a 7-inch dick up your ass. I'm just
yeah,
saying. And he
yeah,
responded with, "Oh, I'm going to sue you for
No,
libel and all of these sorts of different things." I'm like, go right ahead. Please. I'd love to see the outcome of that. Go right ahead,
yeah,
please. But then he carried on about the like, the football guys, like, oh, what if fags were playing football or something along those lines. And knowing that he was a Dragons fan, I put up the thing from the Dragons website that had the multicolored rainbow, the LGBTQ rainbow, because the Dragons came out in support of same-sex
yeah.
marriage. And I was like, and your argument now, good sir? He deleted his Facebook account.
Oh dear, that's a sad story. That's a sad
that
story.
suck.
Oh dear.
So
But I,
that
I actually
bad.
love what you said. Like, so you're choosing every day to be straight. Like, you wake up and go, "Today's the day. Am I going to be gay, or am I going? No, I'm going to be straight." And of course they'll say no. And you're saying like you're only straight because you actually have a choice to make every day. Um, that's actually a brilliant way to highlight what a stupid statement that is.
Yeah. Uh, the people who I have had gay men say this to me, which is the
Yeah.
part that blows my fucking mind. But gay men saying that because I'm bisexual, I can choose. And it's like, I can choose to a certain degree, I guess, like men or women, but like choosing who it is that I am attracted to in a sexual sense is something that I have never had any fucking control over. That like I have always been attracted to both. It's always been a thing for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the idea that I kind of went, yeah, no, I'll just like both because my options are wider or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. But I mean, but that's like saying I could choose to be asexual. Like, theoretically, like, again, as a heterosexual man, I'm either having sex with someone or I'm not. Theoretically, I could choose to not ever have sex with anyone ever again, and which would arguably make me asexual. But it's like that's not how it works.
No, no.
It's who you are.
Yeah, like a choice of celibacy is or a choice of without completely is a valid choice to make regarding your
Oh,
sexual life.
absolutely,
But that
absolutely.
doesn't count as a sexual orientation the way that asexuality does.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. It's yeah, and I would go with that 100%. If I chose to be celibate, that doesn't make me asexual, and the same as if you choose a male partner or a female partner, neither dictates whether or not you're bisexual. It
Oh
just
yeah, no.
doesn't.
Having to explain to people, yes, I am in a monogamous opposite sex marriage. I am married to a woman. Yes, I am not fucking straight. That does not make me
Yeah.
straight. The fact that I'm bisexual actually works out quite well in my favor because both my wife and I sit there and perv on dudes together, and
Well, that
it
comes
can
in
be quite
handy.
fun. Although she's got shit taste in men sometimes.
Yeah.
Point in case. Point in case.
How about
And
girls?
I don't want to hear a word from you, Abigail, about who my wife chooses over me, if
Yeah.
you don't bloody mind, young lady.
Yeah.
And now Yahtzees are choosing to support TERFs, and I can't choose to shoot them. Where's the logic in that? Yeah,
Later, it used
yeah.
to be your patriotic duty. When did that change?
Queen Curse says that they choose to be monogamous. That's the choosing. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
monogamy is an absolute, like, this is the other thing as well. Monogamy. Hang on, I just muted myself.
No, you're okay here.
Man, no, that's cool.
You know, I accidentally hit the mute button by accident.
Hey.
Yeah, no. The thing about like people who were talking about same-sex marriage gets legalized, and then all of a sudden people are going to want to marry multiple partners and all of these sorts of different things. It's like, number one, monogamy is the most common choice amongst pretty much everybody. But those who aren't monogamous, I'm gonna scare you a little bit with this one, but I guarantee you, the greatest majority of people that you know aren't.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I heard that thump. Well played. Chris was walking back into the garage and promptly shut the garage door on his head.
oh, damn, that sucks. Yeah, okay.
Ow, I done that once.
Let's see. She's always complaining about a choice in men to me, grasshopper. Thank you, Abigail. Thank you.
Dear.
Yeah. For example, you don't choose to like a certain food; you just taste it and you like it or you don't. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Although, yeah, and what's interesting to me in that, there's a psychological element in that as well. Because as I have learned through the magic of a technique called EFT or tapping, you can come to like something that you thought you definitely didn't like. You just do this process. And I only did it for healthy things like vegetables and whatnot that I'm, bad boy and not eating.
I'd be curious to try that because I can't fucking stand Brussels sprouts, but my wife loves them and complains loudly that I refuse to cook them. If I, started liking Brussels sprouts, maybe that might be a good thing.
Yeah, well, I did it with a whole bunch of vegetables, and it is freaky as fuck because I'd literally go, okay, here we go, raw onion. What's your desire to eat this out of 10? I'm going like 1. I don't want to eat raw onion, and do this tapping thing.
Oh, ALP now have 47 seats. ALP have officially won.
Official, yay! Oh yes,
That's cool.
So
far, mate. So far.
Yeah, there's still 10 seats in town. They could have a lot more.
So they have won, and they could have up to another 5 seats easily.
Yeah.
But with how soundly they've been flogging the LNP, I'm going to guess that more than 5 of those seats are going to come our way, or their way, I should say.
So I'm going to go down the list. Balmain is very close between ALP and Green, but it looks like the Greens are going to retain that, but who knows?
That's good.
Okay, find another in doubt one. Drummoyne, very close, but the Libs ahead, 50.7 to 49.3.
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah,
that's close. That's only 35% of the vote counted, so that's close.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Goldman? ALP. Ooh, that's even closer, with 50% of the vote counted, 50.3% to ALP, 49.7 to Lib. That's a more than 3% swing to ALP, but that's very close.
That's very close indeed. Yeah.
That much.
Okay, there's something wrong with the. Oh, okay. They've only just started counting a seat called Heffron, so we don't know what that is.
I can't. Trying to find what it is for Leppington. That's the one that I.
Okay.
How do I find that?
Kiama is ALP ahead, actually looking comfortably ahead, but it's a relatively low amount of the vote counted.
Let's see. Leppington key seat. Let's see. Liberal have lost it. Yes. Yes. 39.6 to the Libs for us and 60.4 for fucking Labour.
That is
Yes,
a big margin.
that is a
That's big margin.
9% swing to Labour for my fucking electorate. Hells
Nice.
to the fuck yes.
That's a big margin. Miranda is another really close one. 35% counted. Libs are ahead with 50.3% of the vote. ALP's got 49.7. So that is a very close one.
Queen, if you make my wife Brussels sprouts, you'll never get rid of her. Brussels sprouts roasted with almonds and balsamic. So many
I-
people have told
yeah.
me that, like, oh, you just haven't had Brussels sprouts. How close am I to the new airport? Suffer, I'll answer that one in a second. So many of my friends have said to me, oh, you just haven't had Brussels sprouts made the right way. Here, I'll make them for you. Baked, fried, steamed, with
Yeah.
sauces, without sauces, with seasonings, without seasonings, with this and without everything. I have literally tried them like 15, 16 times. And every time that one of those fucking things hits my tongue, the taste of it hits my tongue, I
Yeah.
gag. It is a physical gag response that I have to the flavor of Brussels sprouts.
Oh,
How
so
close am
sick.
I to the new airport, Suffer? You can drive to where they're laying down the new airport from my front door in just over 10 minutes. Like literally 10 and a half, maybe 11 minutes, and you're right where they're doing the new airport.
All right. I was looking at things. So it looks like the Libs lost Willoughby, Berejiklian's old seat, to the Independent. And most of the close ones, and they're very close, are between ALP and Liberal, but two of them are between Liberal and Independent. So all of the close ones is a Liberal candidate fighting for their political life, basically. So it's all up to them to lose. So, but yeah, some of those are so close. It's going to be quite a while before anyone calls them. Justin, I did mention that thing about Monaro earlier, and actually, I think it's the federal seat of Eden Monaro that has gone to the party that formed government in all but one or two elections since Federation, which is a really fucking weird statistic. I think that's actually the federal seat of Eden Monaro rather than the New South Wales seat of Monaro. Although, again, asterisk, I'm prepared to be proved wrong on that. But yeah, it looks like a lot of, like, we're up to 10 really tense Liberal Party candidates that are all, less than there's less than 1% in like 10 different seats. So that could go either way. I mean, hell, they could pick up all 10 of them because they're all extremely close. The odds are somewhat stacked against them to win that many close calls, but you never know. They're still going to have very few seats compared to the ALP. So what are we at? Now they're saying 48 to Labor, 26 to LNP. So if LNP won each of those 8 seats in doubt, they'd only have 34 seats to Labor's 48. And they're almost definitely not going to win all 8 of them. So pretty goddamn definitive result, honestly. And yeah, I think was it the Teal Independents have had a reasonable night as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Safa just said that Albury is still staying with the Libs, and that is not surprising at all, Safa. If you ever
no.
go there and meet the people there, you wouldn't be surprised.
Country seats are extremely heavily dominated by the LNP.
Yeah, see, we are country where I live. One of the great things, one of the terrific things about living in the country area for as long as I have, though, is we're starting to get a lot of infrastructure getting built around us. Lots of housing estates, shopping centres, those sorts of different things. And I miss the old bushland look of everything and whatnot, but having the infrastructure close has got its advantages too. But one of the things that we were chock full of old white conservative people, men and
Yes.
women.
Yes.
We were fucking chock full of them. Rich and conservative as all hell, and quite distasteful as people, in my personal opinion. As the infrastructure around here has been growing, and we've got a lot more people moving in here now, one of the things that I have noticed a rather large uptake in around this area seems to be a lot of really lovely same-sex couples. Women and women, men and men. And watching the old white conservative bitches clutching their fucking pearls as a same-sex couple walks past them hand in hand. Or as I
Oh,
saw,
man.
two gentlemen that had a couple of kids with them. And this lady basically turned around to them and said, "Hey, she needs a mother, your kids need a mother," or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And one of the guys was very, very, very queeny. And in that very queeny gay guy kind of way, was just like, "You listen here, bitch," and started fucking laying it out to her.
Yeah, man, get man.
Oh yeah, no, I actually turned around to him and went, "Good on you, Queen," and he was like, "Thanks, sweetie." But yeah, no, it was.
Oh, man, there you go.
There
Oh,
is
dear.
a part of me that I cannot begin to describe the Schadenfreude overload. Every time
Yeah.
that I see something like that happening around here, I'm just like, "Oh, just bring it on, just make
Yeah.
it happen more."
Yeah.
Imagine
Nice.
if Canberra was part of New South Wales. Canberra can claim that they're not part of New South Wales all they fucking want, but they are, and they just got to deal with it. And I don't
Yeah.
give a shit that they're supposed to be our capital. They're fucking not. Sydney is.
You go, girlfriend. That's
Hey,
way
wait,
to
guy.
way to wind up with the Canberrans, but they're weird and no one cares about them. Sorry, Justin. Am I upsetting you enough yet, Justin? Although you're not an actual native Canberran. Oh god, I
Man.
thought I'd fucking
Stuart
close.
Ayres lost his seat. Yes, that was already that was that was already predicted ages ago that Stuart was going to lose his seat. So I thought that was no surprise at all.
Yeah.
No surprise at all. Here we go. ALP are now up to 48 seats. Greens at 3, and the others are still at 8 right now. And that's only with 38.8% of bloody votes counted.
Yeah, so there is definitely I noticed the ABC one goes back and forth a bit. They said 48, then they're saying 47, and but clearly a majority government, potentially a reasonably significant majority.
It's not
But
the kind of it's not the kind of swing that you guys saw down there or the WA saw in their last election, but I fucking take it.
oh
I'll
yeah, no,
take
it is pretty good. It is pretty
because you
good.
guys had a really big swing down there last election, wasn't it? Like 13% or something.
Not this one that just happened, but the one that got Andrews into power, and he's just retained that majority for 2 elections. But no, that West Australian one was mind blowing. The almost complete destruction of the
Well, I
Conservatives.
mean, it's Labor versus fucking independents over there. Liberals
It
couldn't even
is.
form a fucking minority.
It is really stunning how they got smashed.
And go figure, it's the state with the best housing affordability, the state with the best access to healthcare, the state with the best access to fucking education, and the state with the least expensive fucking electricity prices.
Yeah.
Go figure.
And if it wasn't for some unfortunate turn of events where fucking what was Gina Reinhardt's dad's name?
Oh, I just called him Jabba the fuck. I can never remember his name.
Yeah, no, Jabba the fuck. We'll go with that. Where he lied and bullshitted his way into those mining leases, which were illegal, and the government was going to say that's not legal, but he just had the newspapers and other media in his pocket, and it's just basically, well, the government doesn't want to let me criminally
Clive-
gain these leases, I'll just change the government.
Clive Palmer is not Gina Reinhardt's dad, although there's every chance that she probably calls him daddy.
Yeah. Ooh, Lan. Yes, thank you, Kirsten. It was Lan Hancock. Yes.
Yes, it was. Yes.
And also on the good news front, Kirsten's husband brought her cheese again. You should remarry him just to reaffirm he's doing the right thing. Lang. Was it Lang Hancock? Lang. It was.
Yeah,
but anyway,
yeah.
we know who we're talking about. He had this whole bullshit story about accidentally finding an iron ore deposit, which was his technical workaround. You can't claim a private lease on resources that have already been identified by the state government. And he came up with this absolute bullshit story of a light airplane having to do an emergency landing. And he's going, well, it's all red here. That's like, it was a complete fucking lie. And he knew the iron ore deposit was there because of government surveys and pulled all sorts of bullshit. So you're saying, that was my long way of saying, you were saying the various positive things. If that hadn't have happened and that those resources had been nationalized, essentially, both the West Australian government and Australia federally would have been billions of dollars better off. And it remains a fucking criminal event that was allowed to happen, which is, I mean, just generally when Gina Reinhardt complains, I'm thinking like there's a wood chipper that feels hungry. But in Minecraft, and but even more so just because despite all her bullshit, I don't want to pay tax, you are the head of a criminal fucking enterprise. It's not just that you're greedy and don't deserve it. It's literally a crime that this was done. But god damn. God, sorry, I'm getting on my communist high horse there. And,
filthy Tommy.
Complaining about paying too much tax. I said, okay, walk the fuck away then. Walk the fuck away. I will head all those mining companies and I will pay 95% tax. I will just take 5% of those billions of dollars that you have no fucking right to. And I will give 95% tax.
Strictly Sega says, wasn't that Kevin Rudd that made that deal that we lost our mining rights?
Fuck no. No. It goes way back. It goes decades and decades back to Lang Hancock. See, Kirsten, composting the rich sounds like a good idea, but most of them are so toxic. I think it would just be like salting the earth.
Yeah, I was about to say, salt the land much? Bloody hell. No, there's people that I know who are actively making plans for when Rupert Murdoch dies to go for a trip to his grave to do nothing more than just piss on his grave. And I fully support this endeavor. I fully support it.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, that sounds like an appropriate thing to do.
Mhm.
Oh, wait. I'm just looking up here. How did Lang Hancock find out? The story goes, it is not true. It is absolutely not true. But I'm just trying to find the year.
Murdoch is getting married again.
61.
Yeah. Yep.
And that was after almost a decade of lobbying. So that's how long ago Lang Hancock stole the wealth of the land that he had no fucking right to. So, Justin, when Trump wanted to sue Bill Maher, I do vaguely remember that. Also, Bill Maher is a steaming pile of shit. I'm just throwing that out there. He's a fucking appalling person. It's always funny because he's all mouthy and whatnot, and you occasionally get right-wing dickheads going, oh, what about we'll cancel Bill Maher because you can't, and then they say they're essentially saying because you cancelled this racist, this misogynist, this homophobe who is still invariably earning millions of dollars, and so I don't know what the fuck is cancelled. But they're going, yeah, if you're not careful, yeah, we'll cancel Bill Maher. And I'm like, I double dog dare you. Go on. Make it so
Make me.
make it so Bill Maher is never on TV, never has a job, never makes any money. You can't do it, you wusses.
It's like the Americans who lost their fucking mind when they found some of those confidential fucking pages that Biden had after they found the ones that Trump had. And there was all that talk that Trump was going to get into all of this legal trouble because he had these documents.
Yeah.
And when they found them with Biden, all of the conservative clones over in America are all like, "Oh, are you going to be screaming for Biden to get charged?" And every single Democrat in America is like, "Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he should be charged."
If this turns out to be a breach of law, there should be repercussions for it.
Absolutely. Even if it is fucking Biden, no, we're all for it. Go right ahead.
Yeah, do an
And
investigation.
all of a sudden, the conservative clones had absolutely nothing to say. And it's the same thing with the Bill Maher thing. When the conservative clones turn around to us and go, well, cancel culture got rid of Bill O'Reilly and all of that sort of shit. Maybe we'll do the same thing to Bill Maher. The greatest majority of people who are leaning to the left are kind of going, good. If you're fucking successful, well, thank you for it. The guy's a piece of shit. Good.
Okay. Strictly Sega, you were talking about something absolutely unrelated to what I said.
Yeah, no, the mining super tax is completely different to what
it's
Angry was talking about.
absolutely unrelated. As I specifically said, it was about Lang Hancock, and I looked it up, and it happened in 1961. And Kevin Rudd was not in his big boy pants yet in 1961, let alone prime minister. So you're actually talking about an important but unrelated thing.
To be clear, I actually support Rudd in the mining super tax. So
me too, absolutely. I don't support Rudd's complete spineless fucking backflipping, which became his characteristic after a couple of years in office. It's like,
I don't support Rudd the person at all. I still maintain that Julia Gillard will go down as one of our best
Sega, I said nothing of the sort. That was not what I was talking about. I was saying the very existence of the Reinhardt wealth was fraudulent and criminal. And as a side thing, I did mention that she sickens me when she complains about not wanting to pay tax. So while what you said is a real thing that was important, it is absolutely, completely unrelated to what I was talking about. I was talking about the origin of Lang Hancock stealing resources that should have been for the public, essentially. Yeah, which is not to say that various governments wouldn't have squandered the fucking money, because they do that sort of shit. But at least people would have been getting jobs, and you think it's like people say, you think government's perfect? No, I think most governments are pretty goddamn useless, honestly. Strictly Sega, I said Gina Reinhardt complained about paying tax, and that was just a corollary. Again, you're tying two completely unrelated things together. So yeah, well, fine. The Reinhardt quote, like I said, I was not talking about anything specific. I was talking about her general vile fucking behavior. Like when she started saying, oh, I could get African people in here and pay them $2 a day. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, you psychopath?
And her fucking piece of shit dad that basically said that mining royalties shouldn't be paid to the Australians First Nations people because they wouldn't know what to do with the money anyway.
He literally, in an ABC interview, said that he didn't like all these half-breed Aboriginals, and he wanted to put them all into one place and put chemicals in the water to make them sterile so they'd all die out.
Yep.
He's a fucking psychopath.
Yep.
And he's a piece of shit.
And his wealth was built on that fucking criminal enterprise by a fucking psychopath. And Gina Reinhardt has come into that money from basically being the daughter of a psychopath. And now she's just basically psychopath light.
Oh yeah, no, she has. He had no right to it. She has no right to it. And yes, when I said about her, when she generally complains about paying tax, I was just like, fuck off. Just fuck.
Knowing that I paid more tax a couple of years ago, I paid more tax in that year than Gina Reinhardt did fucking personally.
Yeah.
Still fucking hurts.
Yeah. Well, again, it's it's a funny thing when you get like particularly people who call themselves libertarians. They're lying. They're not libertarian. They are hard right conservatives who just don't want any laws to apply to them personally.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
like actual true libertarians, I have some libertarian friends. Fine. I actually don't agree with their worldview. I tend to find their worldview almost childish, effectively, and just not paying attention to reality about, we live in a society, as it were. But true libertarians, I'm like, okay, I can talk to you. That's fine. But
the new
particularly,
libertarians, they kind of strike me as wannabe sovereign citizens.
the Venn diagram is not quite a circle, but it's pretty fucking close
too. Yeah.
Yeah, a huge number of people who call themselves libertarians go for sovereign citizen shit. Safa saying Parrothead has conceded.
Has conceded. Let's see. We're at 41% counted.
Yeah.
Still 47 to ALP, 26 to LNP, 3 to Greens, and 7 to others. 10 seats still in doubt.
Yeah, and as I said before, I scrolled through those in doubts. They're so close. All of the in doubts are so close.
Let's see. So, fucking ALP got a 8% swing in Auburn. That's nice.
Nice.
Damn it. Badgerys Creek, fucking libs retain Badgerys Creek. That's where the new airport's going in, by the way, is
Oh my
Badgerys
God.
Creek.
Okay. And I'm old enough that they were talking about an airport in Badgerys Creek when I lived in Sydney 30 years ago.
Yep.
That has been going on for so long.
Greens are going to retain Balmain at a projected 51.4% of the vote. Greens have retained Ballina at almost 60% of the vote.
Wowzers.
Let's see. Independence for Barwon, which does not surprise me because they were owned by the fucking Nationals.
Yeah.
And now they've gone to independent, so that's good. Unfortunately, the Nationals are going to retain Bathurst, which does not fucking surprise me. ALP are keeping Bega, Blacktown, the Blue Mountains, Cabramatta, Camden, which is just up the road from here. 12% swing to them in Camden. Beautiful. They got a 8% swing in Campbelltown, which is just around the corner from where I live as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. Canterbury, ALP still have got Canterbury. Libs are retaining Castle Hill. Only just, 60.7%. That's all right. Cessnock, Charleston, still Labor. Holy shit, Cessnock is 74% fucking Labor. Wow.
That's a good distribution preference there.
Yeah. Charleston is 71.1% fucking Labor. That's with an extra 8% swing to them. Holy crap. The Nationals are retaining Clarence and Coffs Harbour. That doesn't surprise me. Coogee is now ALP. Nice.
Yeah.
Cootamundra, the Nationals there have actually gained more popularity.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Could I just throw out, though, Cootamundra, awesome name. I love that.
Yeah.
That's not far from where I grew up. Cootamundra is such a great name.
Holy shit. Des Moines, 51% Libs, 49% ALP. Projected Lib victory at 51%, but that's at 37.2% counted.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be given up if I was the Labor candidate in that one.
Let's see. Epping is still Libs, unfortunately. Fairfield, Gosford has gone ALP. Nice. Goulburn. Libs had Goulburn, but now the ALP are ahead at 51.3% with a 4.4% swing to the ALP there.
Okay.
Granville Hawkesbury is unfortunately fucking libs. That's always going to be the fucking way out at Hawkesbury. That's our version of Richmond, by the way. The Hawkesbury area. Let's see. Heathcote is ALP. Holsworthy was lib, but looks like ALP are going to win that just because it's at 49.9 to 50.1.
God, that's
So,
pretty tight.
ooh, that's with 42% of the vote counted there.
Yeah, no, I
Let's
wouldn't be
see.
calling that
Oh,
one yet. Yeah.
Kiama has had a 14% swing to the ALP from the independents.
Uh-huh.
That's a 51.9 to 48.1. So looks like the ALP should get that one.
Yeah.
Lake Macquarie, 73% to independents. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Independents and ALP. Libs don't even fucking have a dream down there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Leppington has switched to ALP. We were lib. Now we've gone to ALP at 58.3% of the vote for Leppington. That's just beautiful. Let's see. Lismore is retained. Liverpool is ALP. Macquarie Fields, that's where I grew up, is now Labor as well. That doesn't surprise me. Miranda is still undecided. The Libs are ahead at 50.2 to 49.8, but that's at 40% of the vote counted. So
Uh-huh.
that is still up in the air right now. Oatley is Labor ahead by the skin of their teeth, 50.9 to 49.1. And just finding the last one now. Where are you? Okay, so Willoughby, Independents versus Libs. Looks like the Independents may have it at 50.5 to
Yeah, I think they were calling
49.5.
Willoughby. Yeah.
All right. I will be right back. My wife needs my attention. I'll be right back.
Fair enough. Yeah, so not a good night for the LNP. I don't think they were expecting a good night. They may have had hopes of a good night. Didn't work out for them. Labor might have hoped, like I said, with 10 seats still in doubt.
Mm.
If Labor
So,
picked up 5 of those, they'd be on 52. And they'd be pretty goddamn happy with that.
sorry about that. My wife, when we were driving home earlier, she noticed one of like just a stray hair that grows like by itself just underneath my eye here. Just a
Yes.
random fucking hair follicle, just one hair just sprouts
Yeah.
from here every now and again. When we were driving home, she noticed it. She forgot about it until she was just getting ready for bed, saw her tweezers, and was like, "Oh yeah." So came out here as soon as I turned off the cam. She came up and then walked straight back inside.
Nice.
Let's
Yeah.
see. I paid twice into the Centrelink Debt Collect. They made me pay them once. Then they took it out of my tax the following year. That really mucked me up. That robo debt thing was like disgusting
Literally
from the
criminal.
get-go.
Literally
Yeah,
criminal. Yeah.
yeah.
Was they knew
I
it
like the
was
cut of her jib. Yeah, Abigail, we've talked about that. You're a crazy person, but I love you because you're awesome. But you're still a crazy person.
yeah. I know. We're what's Alice in Wonderland Lane? We're all mad down here. Oh dear. All right. I was asleep until not long before this stream, quite honestly. It got to like 6 o'clock and I was like, I'm just really fucking tired from drinking not really an excessive amount of alcohol, but an amount of alcohol. And I was like, I definitely need to lie down. So I set myself an alarm and lay down for an hour. And then by the time I sort of groggily got up and did a couple things, it was live stream time. So I'm hoping that won't make it difficult for me to go to sleep when I actually go to bed in a couple of hours. or in half an hour. I don't even know when I'm going to do it. But
David Cameron, New South Wales voters have plucked a few stray hairs.
oh, nice
Queen
one, Dave.
Kirsten is asking, what whiskey did you try? Angry?
Oh, okay, Kirsten, like all of them.
I will be right back. I'm just going to go
Yep.
drain the main vein.
I had a sample of at least one whiskey from everyone there. Some of them are really pushy, like, okay, we've got 4 whiskeys, you have to try them all. And I'm like, okay. I did not have anything I didn't like. I don't know if you were here earlier, Kirsten, where I was explaining Mrs. Angry and I were turning the samples into old fashions. I had a little squeezy bottle. I made up a mix of sugar syrup and bitters. So I would like smell and have a sip of the whiskey neat, and then put a few drops of this sugar and bitters mix and swirl it around so it was an old fashioned. They were all improved as old fashions. And it was good. I'm trying to think. I've fucking blanked, and I'm hoping Mrs. Angry took a note. My favorite, my pick of the show was a new distillery from Tassie, and they have not yet released a commercial product. Like, so I couldn't buy anything at the show. They're going to, so I'm on their mailing list, and I can't fucking remember what they're called, and I can't find. I was going on the whiskey list site, which I was sure previously had a list of all the distillers, and I go on the site and I can't see a list of the distillers anymore. Mega Leach, it was like it's a very touristy place. It's right on the ocean, and it's the whole thing. Anyone who's particularly familiar with Scotch whiskies, the ones that are near the ocean, they all talk about the character of salt gets into the whiskey. This one fucking did. We both, Mrs. Angry and I, both agreed. You could actually, there was just this really subtle, soft element. Camo, it was not Hunter Island. There was one from one of the islands though, which is like, they were all good. Amber Lane. I'm not sure if Amber Lane were there. Which coast? See, Megaleech, you're asking me for details. You know what? I'm going to go and ask Mrs. Angry if she remembers, because I just don't. Just a sec. Do you remember the name of that whiskey I declared my favourite? Because it was a really unusual name. It was like Jord or something. Just the distillery. What was it called? They was one, and they were in that holiday place. You said it was like 2 hours from Hobart or whatever. All right, I'll let you, because I just can't remember, and I can't find the list of distilleries. Mrs. Angry is going to try and work it out. It's either Fenno, Warbs Harbour. It wasn't called any of those. Fanny's Bay. Spring Bay, we know Mrs. Angry's on it. Mrs. Angry's on it. I'm just really confused that the bloody whiskey list doesn't have the list of distillers anymore. The whiskey list. Events. The whiskey show. Melbourne. Okay, now what's on the show? Sampling. When? 4 hours of whiskeys. Yes. I fucking used 3 hours of it. Got there about half an hour after it opened. And I think we were like finishing up with drinks by 3:30. So it was about 3 hours. We took breaks. We absolutely took breaks. Wait. No, that's not going to tell me a goddamn thing. Okay. Why is there? I swear to God, there was a list of the fucking distillers. Whiskey show in Adelaide. What? I'm my fucking head. My fucking head is caving in over this. God damn it. I don't know what's going on here. Spring Bay is not near this chili. Let's buy shares. I actually bought shares and I made point of saying hello to the folk at but I knew it was something to do with a bakery, Bakery Hill. I have shares in Bakery Hill Distillery. They're building a new location in Melbourne. Oh, Camo, I fucking slept. I slept for an hour before this stream. Yeah, I no word of a lie. Apparently, there was like at least 100 things you could sample. I definitely sampled over 40. Yeah, no, Safa, my brain is tired, bro. It's like, ugh. It's my brain is tired. I'm trying to refuel it with an old fashioned now. Oh no, that was when I was resting. The pigeon fun. Yeah. Mrs. Angry's lad adopts pigeons these days. He's a pigeon rescuer, and this one has bonded with him. Was a baby, and he saved it, and it's bonded with him now. And he was sitting on the lounge, and I like lying down on another part of the lounge, and the pigeon decided to sit on me for quite a while. Safa, the tasting thing was it was on St Kilda Road, like it not on St Kilda Road. It was basically directly across the road from the Grand Prix. There's this big hotel that was directly across the road, almost directly across the road from the entrance to the Grand Prix. Just there across the road from Lake Albert. And had a good time. Yeah, what was interesting is I did not taste anything I didn't like. Oh, Kirsten, I did say hi to your man from Archie Rose. And of course, they had ones that I already had. But they did have a single paddock. I'd always wanted to try single paddock. And I tell you what, straight, that is not my jam. It was like, 61% or something? That was fierce straight. But then I put my old-fashioned mix in it, and it was a fucking kick-ass old-fashioned. I will tell you that right now. So that was good that I finally got to taste. And Starwood weren't there. That surprised me that Starwood didn't have a stall there because I thought they were going to be there. That literally just occurred to me. But it was so nice talking to the people from the distilleries. They were all just great, chatty people. I did get to talk to a dude from another local one, the Gospel Rye Distillery. They just had their straight and Solera whiskey, rye whiskies there. And I don't think I'd ever tried the Solera, so I tried that. I've had the straight, and I get their special ones when they release them. And had a really good chat with him. And yeah, Kirsten, it is super fucking weird that they were meant to be there, and because they had one or two releases that I was tempted by, but I wanted to taste before, but they weren't there. I'm okay. I'm marginally sure I'm not crazy. They just weren't there, and I don't know what that's about because I think they were meant to be there. So, but it was weird that it only just occurred to me that Starwood weren't there. I think Backwoods was there. Seriously, there were like so many of them, and I drank a lot, and I should have taken notes, and I didn't. Oh, Mrs. Angry has looked it up. Okay, yes, this is them. Warbs. Again, I knew it was a weird name. I'm going to write it in the chat. It's Warbs. WAUBS. Warbs. And again, it was a marginal call. Like I said, I did not dislike anything, and honestly, like when I went to a different booze festival, I don't even remember if it was last year or early this year, called Holy Water. It was all Victorian distillers. There was some stuff I was not crash hot on. Did you say Warbs? Where did you say Warbs? Sorry
about that.
Probably
Got distracted by Q
coming
Puppy.
back now. Fanny Bay. Oh no, you spelt it wrong, Kirsten. I knew it wasn't that.
Yeah, sorry about that. I got distracted by a cute puppy.
Sorry. Okay. Grasshopper, you've missed this a little. I don't think you were on the stream last week when I did it from Dr. Abigail's place, and Salumi was actually with us. They were visiting Melbourne, and
I saw that very briefly. Yeah,
you did. Lots of shenanigans. Been very bratty, and it's rubbed off on Dr. Abigail. She's just texted me again with did your U-Foods, and that's the reference to last night. Did your U-Foods delivery arrive yet? So I'm just saying, Salumi's bratty behavior has rubbed off on Dr. Abigail. And I could actually, and I may actually go with that rubbed off innuendo, quite honestly. Yes. Oh, look, Camo, I am aiming when Warb bring out their whiskey commercially, I will get warbed. I will absolutely get warped. But thank you, Kirsten. You actually did. You clearly did know. Orb Harbor Whiskey. So if I go to their website, enter matured meters from the sea. I'm already on the. Yeah. All right. So they had two. Which ones did they have? I think I had the. They had Apera. They've got one that was in both Apera, which is sherry, and bourbon casks, and an Apera cask strength. Oh, actually, they are selling stuff on the site. They've got a double tawny port. Ooh, that's a little bit pricey. Let me have a look. What's that about? Last ever edition of this style of whiskey. Beautifully rich and oily single malt whiskey with notes of stewed apple, brown sugar, plump sultanas. With that signature Warbs Harbour maritime character on the nose, Double Tawny Port has been a favourite of many since its first release. This edition of our Double Tawny Port began life in 20-litre ex-Tawny Port French Oak casks bond room, finished in 100-litre ex-Tawny Port French Oak cask. Allowing the spirit to soften resulted in a sweet rounded port-style whiskey. Was that 43%? I feel like that's one I tasted. Okay, so they actually It's just the ones they had at the show aren't commercially released. So they do sell some. Uh, uh, they do sell some. One, in fact, on the website, but they're about to release the ones that I tasted today. Okay, so Salumi, we're saying that the brat was there all along with Dr. Abigail. Salumi just released the inner brat.
I noticed the brat within the first 5 seconds of talking to you, Abigail.
To be fair, your experience with Abigail's a little bit different. Because she's had the opportunity. She never tried to steal my wife, but I love it. Sorry, Camo with a Peritet's about to formally concede. He's totally warped. We need to. I'm adopting that now because people are going to forget who Tim Smith is. Because that's been my measure of how pissed I am. How Tim Smith.
I was about to say, how Tim Smith were you today?
Oh, I was fully Tim Smith. Like, if I'd got behind the wheel of a car, I would have driven into someone's fence. That. So.
Sorry, I'm getting SMSs from a particular brat, and I won't say.
Oh,
who.
you too? Okay, yeah, okay.
And all I'm gonna say is, when I see this brat next time, I'm gonna poke them in the tummy several times.
All I'm going to say with the certain other brat who is visiting, I was like, keep that up and you'll get a spanking, except that would just encourage you. Yeah, no, Camo, I agree. I think my Tim Smith reference is too locked in a particular time and too localized. I love Warped because it's so fucking obscure. Everyone can be equally confused by Warped as a description of
But
how
that's the thing,
you are.
though. Like, even if somebody's never heard that before, you could turn around to somebody and go, "Man, I got totally warped last night." They could fill in the blanks.
I reckon you're right. I am currently, I'm currently on board with Warped as the new Tim Smith is how warped I am. And now I'm waiting. They're gonna release these whiskies, and I'm on their mailing list so they can tell me. And in fact, that was one of the guys, because I thoroughly expected, because hardcore whiskey show, dudes outnumbered women somewhere between 20 to 1 and 50 to 1. Mrs. Angry was commenting on it all the time because, god damn, it was so sausage fest, this place. One time when we sat down to take a break, there were 3 women who I think were part of a group, because their men folk appeared at one point, and so these 3 women were taking a break, and it just sort of commented like, it's so interesting that sitting here with a group of ladies, because there's a lot of dudes here, and one of them just went, "It's a sausage fest." Yeah, Kirsten, again, someone who's worked in distilleries must be so used to the dude domination of events.
Many moons ago, a friend of mine who was single at the time, he saw a sign up about a singles night out at a local bar. He wasn't much for the bar scene, but he thought that he would give it a go. So the night came on, and he got himself all dolled up and dressed all nice and smelling all nice, and then went into the singles night at the bar, and there was not a woman in sight.
That's not good.
Yeah, and it wasn't a same-sex pickup thing. It was supposed to be.
It was meant to be hetero, and it was just dudes.
It was 100% men all night. He was very disappointed.
Oh, Strictly Sega, that's an old school reference. Calling the booze sherbet, having a sherbet.
Yeah.
Having a sherbet, that's an old school one.
That's because it used to get fermented with sugar or something like that, if I remember right.
I don't know, but it's an old school one, calling it a sherbet. And Camo, Cock Forest, that's a good one. Sausage Fest, Cock Forest.
Cock Forest?
Like that.
That's good.
that.
That's good.
Oh, Strictly Sega
Keep us
say
up.
working at the footy. Of course, yes. The footy is going to be 20 to 1 or 50 to 1.
Abigail
mentally.
says, "Dude does not necessarily mean sausage. Can I request some trans-friendly language, please? I like Dude Fest. I like Dude Fest. I'll go with
Dude
Dude
Fest.
Fest.
You actually that yeah, again, that's presumptuous to say it was all sausages. It was very dude. It was very dude heavy.
Yeah, not all of us have sausages. Some of us have bratwurst. No.
Who were? Or some of us apparently, and this was some sorry, the thing that made me laugh the most with Salumi, one of her friends, she has a dick described as the size of a Monster energy drink can, and I was like, that is one of the most fun descriptions I have ever heard.
And slightly frightening.
Yep. And because we were going to get, like, we were in the shop that sells booze and booze related things, and they had a big selection of novelty hip flasks, and one of them was a picture of a rooster, and it's like, I have a big, so it's a big cock. And far too late, Sulumi's friend saying that it's become just the running joke with that she has a monster can. I want to go back and get her this fucking hip flask.
My old favorite shirt that I got from tshirthell.com. It was, I want to smack your picture of a pussycat while you yank on my picture of a rooster. And then I want to spank your picture of a giraffe. Please tell me you have a giraffe.
So this is a throwback. I'm now remembering weird shit that I saw a couple of variations of when I was a kid, and I didn't understand the reference because I was too innocent. Because a not very widely used reference for being drunk is tight. Even back then, it wasn't that common, but tight was a slang term for being drunk. And you would get T-shirts that had a cartoon of like a drunk cat, and the caption would be "Happiness is a tight pussy." I'm like a kid. It's weird. I remember it, but I did not understand it as a kid.
Yeah. No, my favorite Aussieism for being drunk is being munted.
I do like munted. Munted is an excellent word. And Kirsten, oh my God, how do you stop from strangling those people? Asking someone at a whiskey show a question and they address the answer to husband. It's like, ugh, that is such a common thing.
The thing that used to drive me fucking nuts was when I was working inside of a computer store. I worked with a female coworker who taught me more about PCs than I knew by the time I'd ever stood foot in the place. Her knowledge with PCs is not to be fucking underestimated.
Yeah.
And people would walk in the store and would ignore her to talk to me.
Yeah.
Or they would ask her a question, she would answer it, and then they would wait for me to finish what I was doing and then come up and ask me the exact same fucking question.
Oh God, that sort of shit. There's a social media meme. I don't know what platform it was originally on, but as a guy saying like, my wife is actually a mechanic in a Formula One team, and I don't know a fucking thing about cars. So my personal favorite thing is the two of us, when we're looking to get a car, go in together and start to talk about cars, and the fucking salesperson will ignore her and talk to me, and I'm just like, she's just waiting for her moment, and at a certain point she's just going to drop bombs on this guy.
Yep. Oh goodness. Anyway, I've just got an SMS. I've got to make a phone call, get a few things organised. But yay for an ALP victory in New South Wales.
Woo!
Very happy with that. Angry, thank you for letting me come on and celebrate.
Nice.
So my love to you and everybody that's watching. Ciao, and for you specifically, Abigail, live long and prosper.
Nice. Cheers, mate.
See you guys.
Oh God, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Dave. Caputo's nickname was Beer Can. Yes. And I love that, shutting them down, Kirsten. Husband looks to you. You ask them about ferment times, yeast strains. Noise. They shut up. So strictly saying your dad's office, Lucy and Charlie Brown comment. Charlie asks Lucy if he can stick his finger in a belly. Wow. Oh, I remember there was this fucking sick one that was around a lot when I was a kid. It was it was this cartoon. It was Charlie Brown and Lucy like in a wading pool, and they're very close. And Charlie Brown's got this look on his face, and Lucy saying, "You're a liar, Charlie Brown. I will not sink if you take it out." And given that they were kids, that was really fucked up. Yeah, it's like that. God, that must happen so often to you, though, Kirsten, at the whiskey shows, being fucking ignored by these dudes. I will say, pretty much without exception, everyone we talked to at the stands was great. They were incredibly, the people from all the different distilleries, they were incredibly friendly. They were really chatty. I thought Mrs. Angry and I were going to Mrs. Angry and I were going to affront someone because we were doing the old-fashioned thing with the whiskey, and because I was doing it openly, like I got the little tasting glass, little Glencairn, and it'd get a little splash of the whiskey and taste it, and then got my little squeezy bottle and put some things in. They didn't all notice I was doing it, but often I was just doing it in front of them. And so I'd just say, "Oh, we're cocktail drinkers, not straight whiskey drinkers. So I'm just turning it into an old fashioned." Most of them were very interested by that. And said, "Oh, how's that?" And we go, "No, it's good." "Oh, that's interesting. You almost always get this shit from overseas distilleries." There are significant number of Australian distilleries owned by women, run by women, or the head distiller's a woman, which is great to see. Because it's that dude-ish thing is really obnoxious. Goddamn, my old fashions are good. I still have, just because of my experiment. Oh god, that's probably 1.5 liters at least of old fashions. Ugh. I'll be going through those for a while, but I've slowed down my rate of barrel aging things. I've got vodka in one of them, just to keep it wet. I've got port in one. One's empty, and it might stay empty, actually. I might go get another bottle of port and just keep port in a barrel. But my one true experiment at the moment is the liqueur I'm making, where I made a sugar syrup by having sliced apple and orange peel covered in brown sugar. And then I mixed that with some cooking spices. And then I mixed that with a blend of whiskey and rum. I think, and now I'm barrel aging it 3 or 4 weeks. I think it's going to be good. Oh yeah, Parrot Head, you always do that. If you lose an election, you stand down. The party may choose to re-elect you as leader, but you always stand down when you lose an election. And yeah, it does seem like a particularly good thing in Australia, the diversity. Australian Distillers Association conference. What do they do at the conference? Get drunk? Maybe? I don't know. Shorten did eventually stand down because we got Albanese as Prime Minister. which was probably a tough call for Shorten because I think it was kind of obvious, even though Shorten lost that election, whoever led Labor to the next election was going to win. Yes, Dave. Non-dude vineyard. Oh, I love that's a great word. Brewers, distillers. That's why all the distillers are in Melbourne. Oh, so the whiskey show, they're all in Melbourne because the conference is also in Melbourne? That makes sense. That makes sense. Safi, yeah, I don't know exactly when Shorten stood down, but he clearly did because he didn't stand in 2 elections. Yeah. Asterisk, unless I'm wrong. Oh, okay. So the conference talks about safety, law reform, and trends. Neat. Again, also, besides the diversity in Australian distilleries, which is good, I also think I get the vibe, and this is largely thanks to you, Kirsten, getting me in tune with the Australian distilling scene. I think a really significant majority of Australian distillers are really switched on, intelligent, thoughtful, insightful people, which is great to see. Megaleech, how late am I going? Brew, no idea. No idea. Okay. Strictly Sega, Shorten shit me up the wall because he was instrumental in both the offing of Rudd and then the subsequent offing of Gillard. And then that was so destabilizing, and they rewarded him with the party leadership. That was bullshit. That made me very angry, actually. I didn't really have much time for Shorten because of his role in that. I understand why. I understand why the party moved against Rudd, because he was just impossible to work with. He was really fucking unhinged and egotistical. And I wouldn't have held it against Shorten that he was instrumental in getting rid of Rudd. But the fact, I thought when he turned on Gillard, that was spineless and shitty and counterproductive. I definitely held that against him. Kirsten, I'm glad you agree. And I only know that, again, I only have that insight thanks to you. But yes, the Australian distilling scene, full of lovely, intelligent, thoughtful people. It's great. So many of the distillers are in the game for really positive reasons. That's great. So Camo, stand down as leader at the next party meeting usually. Yes, they usually don't resign their seat. Yeah, so that's my memory of things. Pretty much every time someone loses an election, they'll say, "I'm standing down." The party may choose to re-elect them to the position. Doesn't happen often though. Strictly said, again, I would, if Shorten had won the election, I would have been a wholehearted supporter of Shorten PM, but he didn't, and just generally, fuck him. Oh, Rottweiler dude, Jesus Christ! Oh, I couldn't believe Morrison won one election. That did my head in. That hurt. When Morrison led the LNP to victory, that fucking hurt. That's corrupt fucking media in this country poisoning people's brains. Awful. Yeah, and sometimes they stay on the backbench, but of course, when Rudd got offed, he spent his entire time, on the backbenches, being a destructive, spiteful piece of shit. Rudd absolutely destroyed any chance of a legacy he had. It's just like, dude was just, I don't know, fucked up. And I've said this heaps of times. People said he didn't sleep and he was cranky all the time. And of course, if you only sleep a couple of hours a night because you were obsessive about policy, it's like you do that obsessive shit. You fucking concede. Sorry, I was going somewhere with that. People who are obsessive workaholics and don't sleep, they think that's a positive. It isn't. I'm not sure what you're saying, Cameron. Morrison didn't lose. He did lose an election. He won his first one, which does my head in, and he's still there in the parliament. Excuse me for saying. I just like saying parliament. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. I've got enough booze to feel a little sprightly again. And that's cool. I'm gonna do that. Feel a bit sprightly. I'm thinking, okay, Mrs. Angry's still watching the election coverage. So, yeah, Megaleech asked me how long I'm going to go. I'm probably going to go until Mrs. Angry says she's going to bed, and I don't know where that is. So, no. Oh, God, some little fruit fly just flew past my face. But I've had enough alcohol that it's giving me energy. That false thing, I'm in that phase where you get that false feeling that I feel like the alcohol's a stimulant when it's not a depressant. I don't know. Yeah, no, it still confuses me. Didn't win, didn't lose. The vibe of win-lose, too subtle? I don't know. But I don't know. Morrison copped a pasting. And I was thinking, what's this message? Yes. Oh, God, that's wild. Okay. So, young Ms. Angry just texted me saying, can I take you to the train station at 9:30? And I said, yes. And I've not seen this before. A thing popped up that said, Siri found a reminder. Take me to the train station tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. I've not seen it do that before. God, this fucking ties into the whole AI conversation we're having Dr. Abigail last night. Yes, Kirsten, you should spend time with husband who does the great things. You can win by not losing. See, Camo, at this point, I think you're just trying to fucking mess with my head. And it's working. I'm just going to say it's working. Surfer, is Abigail's brattiness rubbing off on you, man? All right. Fucking love old fashions. I love doing the old fashioned on ice because it changes the nature of the drink as the ice melts. The different flavors come through. It's fucking wild. Yes. Okay. You're definitely fucking with me, Camo. Okay. Morrison fucked up so much. I'm like, I feel like every now and then, we forget the scale of Morrison's fuck up. absorbed. Should be a hashtag on that, maybe. It's when you look at Morrison fucked up the response to bushfires. Then COVID came. He fucked up taking COVID seriously, like he did that thing of going to the football and fucking piece of shit. Then he fucked up the vaccine rollout. No, what did he fuck up first? He fucked up the vaccine rollout, and then he fucked up testing. Or did he fuck up testing? And then, but it was just like a rolling thing of fuck ups. Oh no, Dr. Abigail, last night's caught up with you. Some Panadol. Oh no. Sorry. Well, I don't think Morrison did anything that could get him in jail. Robodebt was, and this is a big fucking call, but I think Robodebt could be the worst thing that government did because it was brutal and cruel and vindictive and illegal. It's one thing when political parties put their policy in and it's nasty and counterproductive and hurtful and destructive, but Robodebt was fucking illegal. Yes, that's an excellent summary, Dr. Abigail. Fucked up his bushfire response first by being on fucking holiday, then by being a fucking cunt. Guess who doesn't try to monetize on YouTube? I was thinking about the other day, like, because every now and then I think about doing some pre-recorded videos on YouTube on this channel again. And I'm almost definitely not going to do the angry, shouty stuff that I was once famous for. It would be much calmer, but still same political view and same sweariness. And just really lead in with like, okay, here's why Scott Morrison's a cunt. Guess who's not monetizing their videos on YouTube? I was one of the first people in Australia given the opportunity to monetize their YouTube channel. I voluntarily demonetized this channel years ago. For those who know their YouTube law, is when the adpocalypse happened. It was the first time YouTube panicked and said, oh, we shouldn't run ads on controversial stuff. And I was like, you know what? I don't want constant messages from YouTube that we demonetized this video. So I voluntarily demonetized my channel because I didn't want to deal with their shit. So Cam, he's saying is bushfires, yes, then the health measures, he literally told people to go to football. Ruby Princess, I'm not sure if that was him or New South Wales, but yeah, that was a fuck up. Vaccine fucked up. Oh, yes. The contact tracing app. I forgot that. That was a complete and utter failure. But he also, he failed with rats, the rapid antigen tests. I think that came after the vaccine. It's just like he fucked up so much. It absolutely stunning. It's like, it's really difficult to wrap your head around how a prime minister can fuck up that many times. Okay, the ABC has gone back. They keep going back and forth on whether they're willing to declare 47 or 48 seats for Labor, and they're back to saying 47. 9 seats in doubt. So they've added 2 to the LNP. Last time I looked, they were 25. Now they're saying 27. Sorry, I can just kind of hear Mrs. Angry is watching the coverage there. I think the new premier must be doing his victory speech. There's a lot of cheering coming out. Yeah, 47 is all they need. And yeah, the Libs got cooked. The Libs have done badly. done very badly. Oh, Safa, that fucking line. I don't hold the holes, mate. Jesus. Oh, it's Albo. Thank you. Camo and Safa both telling me. And Dr. Abigail. It's Albo. Okay. Is he just saying congrats to Mins? Yeah, because I'm just vaguely hearing cheering from in there. So, okay. Given that alcohol is giving me superpowers, I'm going to have some more. This is one of my purchases today. Lime Burners, Western Australian distiller, the Great Southern Distilling Company. This is their honey whiskey liqueur, made with the rarest of honeys. So I'm just going to pour that as is over my ice. That's interesting, Camo. Min's got a few claps. Albo gets cheers. Okay. All right. But, you know, good job, New South Wales Labor. You should have won the last election, but you did get there in the end. And now I haven't heard of federal ICAC for a while, because the Liberal Party generally would be terrified of an objective criminal investigation. But New South Wales, again, since the fucking, what was it, with Bligh, the Rum Rebellion, New South Wales has been so corrupt since white fellas got here. Camo, what's Minz's seat? I don't actually know what Minz's seat is. They literally have their leader in a marginal seat. That's wild. Oh, yeah, Safra, I know the federal ICAC was a thing. I'm just waiting for actual investigations with fucking big name liberals and nationals in it. I can kind of hear Albanese now. I love his very Aussie accent. Cogra. Thanks, Camo. Cogra. Okay. I'm going to look that up on the ABC website. Let's roll down. Cogra, ALP reject. Jesus Christ. 17% swing. So Cogra was kind of excited that their member, who was previous election marginal, was going to be premier. 17% swing. Jesus. That's a vote of confidence for him. That is a vote of confidence for him. Jesus. Yeah, Safa, I don't know if Morrison did, and I literally don't know if Morrison did anything that could be investigated. But, oh God, people like Berejiklian and Barilaro should be nervous as fuck. So, they redistributed in favor of Conservative voters, and he still got a 17% swing. Oofed. That's a massive vote of confidence for him. It will be very interesting to see what he does in this first term, because he's had a massive vote of confidence. See if he can deliver on it. Anyway, this is my new purchase, the Lime Burners Honey Whiskey Liqueur. That's so nice. Oh my God, that's so fucking nice. Yum. Yeah, so his seat was changed, and technically it was more in favor of Conservative voters, and he got a fucking 17% swing anyway. Holy shiz. So, okay, the guy's off to a flying start. He's got the wind behind him, as they say. It will be very interesting to see what he does as a premier. Because it's so favorable to him. It's like everything's his to lose at the moment. So he has a very strong chance Oh. He's in a really strong. Minz is in a really strong position to win multiple terms. So we'll see what he does. It will be interesting. Libs will be so fucking done. Yes, that is true, Dr. Abigail. New South Wales had an ICAC back when I was there. And yeah, Berejiklian resigned because she was being investigated. No, a federal one should really fucking go for it. Oh, yeah. No, that's a good one. At a state level, endorse voice for parliament. Yeah. Safa, what ticker am I rebooting? It's kind of... I should have changed that before this stream, but I didn't think of it. Fuck yeah, this was a good purchase. It's it's still got a definite whiskey taste, but like I'm just drinking it straight, and I don't drink whiskey straight. And the honey, oh, this is good. This is a nice tipple. This is nice. I like it. Oh man, yeah, no, that is nice. I had a good talk to a guy in one of the distilleries. They had a new make spirit, which I tried. Their whiskey was very good. New make is basically what's going to become whiskey when it's put in barrels and aged. It's moonshine. It's unaged whiskey, and it'll be clear. And he's saying like they were talking about, and because I mentioned like we're cocktail people, and he goes, oh yeah, I want to get into cocktails, and we think this new make spirit could be good for people with cocktails. And I had a taste of it, and it was pretty good. It's like 60% alcohol, and I was going like, yeah, I'd probably like pretend this was a white rum and try it in cocktails where you would traditionally do a white rum. You're a whiskey man, Camo? Okay. My friend, if you ever come to Melbourne, actually, you can't even see the whiskeys. That's the fucking rum cart. But I have a lot of whiskeys here if you want to do a whiskey tasting night. And just in case anyone doesn't remember from when AD was still with us, Camo is at the same uni that AZ and I went to. We were there at the same time. And Camo became a lecturer there. So here's compadre from way back. So, yes, my friend, if you if you ever get to Melbourne, you have an open invite for a fucking drinking night. Oh, I like that. Camo, Master Distiller, all spirits of vodka, then we make them special. Kirsten, who was on the stream earlier, who worked for Distillers, she had a fun turn of phrase that I love to use. Vodka is just the sad story of something that could have been gin. I think she actually says it better than that. But yeah, it's like vodka is, if it's sticking to the real definition of vodka, it's an unflavored, neutral spirit. And it is gin, whiskey, rum. They all go through this first phase, the first distill. You've got a neutral spirit, and then you go through another distillation and the aging. Yeah, dude, bro, you have to hit me up if you ever come to Melbourne, okay? Stick a fork in it. You don't stick a fork in toasters. That doesn't give you superpowers. Yeah, Camo, I have a bad/good habit of getting people drunk who come across for a visit. Last night had Abigail and Helen here, and we had a few drinks. We had some great talks. And I often do the thing like, oh, okay, you're here, and look at all these spirits that you've never seen. Let's do a taste comparison, and line up like 6 different whiskeys. Let's do a taste comparison. What's our favorite out of these 6 whiskeys, or these 6 rums, or 6 gins? I believe you, Camo. You've never been drunk. If anyone knew this campus in Bathurst, used to be Mitchell College, Charles Sturt University now, that place. And okay, now I'm not lying. When I was there, I did not drink alcohol or do drugs at all. And I think I was the only person on the entire fucking campus who could say that. That campus is one of the most alcohol-fueled places I have ever been. I love that. Yeah, that's where you say that. I've never been drunk, Your Honor. I was a fucking saint. But also, I was kind of out there. So many people assumed I had been like high or drunk at the same party where they were high or drunk, just because I would carry on as silly as they were. And I went, no, I was literally sober the entire time. And I'd have people go, no, you were definitely high with me. And I went, no, you were high, and I went along with it. And you just assumed that meant I was high too, and I wasn't. And I believe you, Dr. Abigail. I didn't get into shenanigans until I moved to Sydney, in fact, and not even my first year in Sydney. That's me, yes. I was prepared to accept whatevs and be part of it. I was always down for it, because we had, like, there was a bar on the campus. We had bands once a week, what we called bar night. But the bar was open every day. I'd be with friends who were like mad pissheads, and they were just like, yeah, you're into it. Cool, let's go. But yeah, literally, I did have people who'd swear blind, like someone would go like we had the community radio station. The student part of it was called Studio 4. And I specifically remember that dude I did a show with for a year or so, who was a real weed guy. He was a mad drug fiend. And he was like, oh, and I was like, no, I'm not into it. And he's going, that's cool. And he was always really happy that I was cool with him doing it. And then one night, I don't know, we were at a party, and another dude's like, because they were like sharing a joint, and this one dude goes, oh, yeah, no, he doesn't do it. Spike. My nickname at college was Spike because I had the short, spiky hair. And he goes, no, Spike doesn't do the weed. This guy, yes, he does. I've got high with this guy so many times. My friend goes, dude, you said you don't do it. And I went, no, I don't. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this guy. And he's like, no, dude, I just hung with you while you were getting high. And we did every stupid shit you came up with. I was like, yeah, let's do stupid shit. So you just thought I was high. I wasn't. But there's a thing. So I used to always use my grandmother's line, which was my mum's mum. She was awesome. And like, she almost never drank alcohol. And she would just go, I don't need to drink alcohol. I'm silly enough as it is. And I just thought, that's a great line. I don't need to drink alcohol. I will just do the fucked up shit that you want to do because you're drunk or high. And he said, let's do some fucked up shit. And I'm like, yeah, let's do some fucked up shit. It's good. So yeah, I literally, I was at Mitchell for 4 years. 4 years doing a 3. No, actually, I started doing an associate diploma, which was a 2-year thing. and I transferred into a degree. So I was there 4 years altogether. Yeah. So, okay, you're remembering it, Kemi, yeah. Oh, was AZ... Again, yes, I know AZ did the droog and the alcohol, but he didn't need it. He did not need it to just be a wild man. But he would definitely do it. He would definitely do it. And not so much, okay, because AZ's final year at uni was my first year. We did do a show together because we were both doing the theatre course. Yeah, Safa, I got out literally the year before Hex Fees. All right, yeah, you would know better, Camo, that AZ was not a big partaker, and even post uni, I know he would occasionally do things, and we would do things together. I do remember one time he came over with partner, boss of the house. We probably did a stream, we did stuff, and we may have done things in Minecraft. And then I said, and because we were all very awake, I said, let's go for a walk. And it was post midnight. This neighborhood I live in is so fucking quiet. Like prior to here, I lived in East St Kilda, which is a noisy fucking neighborhood all night. This is only a couple of suburbs away. It's so fucking quiet. So I just went with AZ and boss of the house and said, let's go for a walk. There is a really cool park just down the road. And we were walking through these very dark, very quiet streets, and then just go, it's so quiet. Why the fuck is it? Because they were living in a noisy suburb as well. And they're just, why is it so fucking quiet? I don't know, dude. This is just a very quiet neighborhood. And my favorite bit, we went to this park that has all this really fun adventure playground stuff. There were other adults there at what was it, 2 or 3 in the morning? It's like, yeah, we've all got the same vibe. It was 2 or 3 in the morning, and we all went, I want to go hang out in the park. So yeah. Oh, I think Mrs. Angry has switched off the television. I think. I was even going to. In fact, I might actually have a little bit of the cream. I'll show you. The two things I actually bought from Whiskey Festival were liqueurs. This one from Western Australia, Lime Burners honey liqueur, which is really nice, and this one, which is Tasmanian from Heliers Road. Heliers Road Distillery. This is a salted caramel cream liqueur. So no, conservatives generally aren't quite old people. This is an old people suburb. Like Mrs. Angry and I crack up because we're not young, but this suburb can make us feel young because the average people in this suburb are very old. I'm going to get a little thing. I'm just going to have a little bit of this. Cute. I get this like dessert before I go to bed. This will do. A little mini Glencairn glass. It's a baby Glencairn glass. My God, I'm going to have to fucking clean this kitchen up in the morning because I didn't do it today. Camo, you're old, bro. We're old together. All right. So Heliers Road, salted caramel cream liqueur. Heliers Road, Tasmanian distillery, do mighty fine whiskies. But this fucking liqueur, oofed. I'm just going to have a little bit of it. Oh, just that runoff there. That's so fucking good. So, do we have many dogs? Actually, not loud dogs. Not loud dogs. Often when Mrs. Angry and I go for a walk, we try to go for a walk most days, go through the park. There's always people walking dogs. There's not loud dogs here. Oh my God, that is so fucking good. Jesus Christ. I think I want to have this on ice cream. God, that's so fucking good. It's just schmick. Sorry, I'm doing this as and it's like the white supremacist. Okay, Megaleach, Hellier's Road, Hellyyers, a Tassie distillery. They do kick-ass whiskies, but this fucking they do a few different cream liqueurs. Fuck me, it's good, really good. So good. Is this the quiet? No, this is not the quietest Melbourne suburb. There would be quieter ones, but it's pretty goddamn quiet, honestly. And it's pure and simple. The older the demographic in a suburb is, the quieter it's going to be. The flavor. Okay, this one is salted caramel. They do a number of flavors, I think. There's the original. In fact, let's look it up. What is the ABC saying about the election now? Oh, they're still saying 47. Okay. The Liberals are picking up a couple of those hard to call ones. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Gonna go for Hellier's Road Distillery. Hellier's Road Distillery. Into the unknown. Yes, I'm of legal drinking age. What's in your shop? Home to Australia's best single malt whiskey. I mean, honestly, yeah. Wow, they actually have a lot of whiskies. Cream liqueurs. That's what I want. What do they have? Cream liqueurs. Original, salted caramel, hazelnut, and coffee. And they have a whiskey relish. But yeah, they had the only ones they had at the show were original and salted caramel, and they were both really good. And I just said to Mrs. Angry, which one we'll get? And she said, oh, salted caramel. I'm gonna have. I'm sorry. I just think, did Mrs. Angry go to bed without saying anything to me? I need to check because I was gonna go to bed when she goes to bed. I don't know why I do it. Okay, I'm also glad that you do it. I don't know why I randomly sing things, but I do. Motherfucker, that is so fucking good. I think I need to look up cocktail recipes that call for Baileys and use this instead. Oh my God, this is so fucking good. Oh my God, God damn. All right, I'm just going to double check because I think Mrs. Angry has just gone off to bed and didn't tell me. So, yeah. I don't know. So I think I just fucking sing. And having had a few beverages may influence me singing. Oh, wow. Someone on Twitch. I'm literally just going to bed, probably. Kakashi, hello. I hope you have a great existence. Oh, and just so you know, if I talk to people and you think, who am I talking to? Most people actually watch me on YouTube. Some people watch me on Facebook. Occasionally, some people watch me on Twitch. So I use StreamYard where I can multi-do. I do. I have a song in my heart, and it's very gay. That is a fair call. Jesus Christ! I think I could just keep drinking this, and I shouldn't. I'm going to put it back in the fridge. Oof. It's so good. So good. All right. Excuse me for a second. I am probably going to sign off, but I'm just going to make sure Mrs. Angry has actually gone to bed. I'll be back in a second. I'm back, and I didn't fact check. Mrs. Angry has gone to bed, so I'm gonna go to bed. Oh, bro, my friend. Again, I'm trying to think of a non-gender specific thing. So I always count with people who, particularly cishet guys, who say, "Dudes non-gender specific," and I went, "Do you fuck dudes? Can I just say to the world, you fuck dudes?" No, then it's not gender specific. If someone said, yes, Comrade's a good one. Comrade is probably my favorite. Yeah, it's not limited to cishet dudes, but I do particularly like to say to dudes who say like, dudes, gender neutral. Do you fuck dudes? No, it's not gender neutral. Oh, I'm kidding. I'm literally going to bed and people are popping up on Twitch. Pete O'Death. Hello, hello, hello. Hello and good evening. I know, Dr. Abigail, we are philosophically opposed to drunk streams here. But I'm going to go to bed now. I will, if anyone is so disposed, I will see you another day. In fact, Sunday night, probably. I will probably be a bit more alert. Cameron, I would fuck a comrade. I would, I regard Mrs. Angry as a comrade in the struggle, the class war, the only war. The only war is class war. And Mrs. Angry is my comrade in that class war. Going to go to bed now. We'll do a Sunday night stream, and I will probably be a bit more alert. I'm some decent sleep tonight. Yeah, see, Camo, you fuck comrades. And again, we should fuck comrades, is what I'm saying. We should only fuck comrades. We should not fuck enemies of the people. We should not fuck the bourgeois. We should not fuck the people and things. And we should only fuck comrades. And that's my take, and I'm going with it. Good night, everyone. Have a fine and dandy time. And as I said, if you're so disposed, Sunday night stream, almost definitely going to happen. I think I just drank the right amount of alcohol in this stream to get a bit of life back into me, and also to hopefully fucking sleep, because I did have a nap quite late, which is possibly ill-advised. I think I'm going to take my fucking earbuds in, because if I can't go to sleep, I think if I listen to something relaxing, like with bilateral stimulation, it helps me sleep. So, you all take care. I will see you another